So, now on to Iocus's horns, because it was just the tips.
No.
Just the tip.
No, we do
Just
not.
the tip.
We do not segue from that conversation to dehorning the Minotaur. Not okay.
Just the tip.
No.
Calaise says you're too horny. Gotta take them off. Sorry.
Both of them. No.
Would you rather those or the one down below?
I'm not that attached to the horns, you know.
I was gonna say he's got a pair of horns in his pants.
Sometimes he got a single horn in his pants.
Oh no.
Oh my.
Sometimes Iocus is a triceratops.
He's gonna try to make Nameless a weird half brother.
He's one half cow ass, one half horse ass.
Completely Iocus's child, though, because he's a giant ass.
Speaking of giant asses,
I like...
We're gonna name him Rump Roast.
how did you know Iocus's concept name at the very beginning? Now, speaking of giant asses, welcome to the Average Adventuring Party, where the party may be average.
But the asses are not.
It's true. The party's asses are chef's kiss. Just works of art.
See, you described Neville as having kind of this pot belly, so I imagine he's got a slightly larger than normal ass as well.
He's just got like the normal gnome figure. Gnomes by nature are not lithe. They're kind of, I mean.
He has a badonkadonk.
They got a little bit of a.
Spindly and round.
They're spindly and round. They're soft looking, and they're very soft.
Got a little junk in that trunk.
Neville's got junk in his trunk. It's just a pleasant curve. He's got just the right amount of belly, just the right amount of booty, and you don't need to know what else is under that loincloth because he's not that kind of character.
I'm sure we already know.
Unless you're random. Or Heart of the Dragon.
That is a rumor.
Unfounded rumor.
Hashtag not canon yet.
Hashtag
Emphasis on yet.
wouldn't remember anyway.
That is true.
So speaking of remembering, what happened last time, you guys?
We didn't die.
We
Actually, when it comes to Philomena,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
You started out dead.
So we made our way through a tree because after we killed the hag, Iocus.
Spoiler alerts?
Yeah, Iocus was able to kill the hag in the previous episode, and then this episode we found out that Nameless is able to talk to the trees of the jungle again, and I can never say her name. Calaise. Yeah.
Like Menace?
But
that's her sister.
she was able to point us in the direction of the disturbance and of hopefully the last hag sister.
Please be the last one.
And Nameless was able to get us real close there, and we continued through this much more open jungle where we saw basically a temple being held up by some vines.
Nothing bad happened after that.
There are some undead one-eyed giants there.
Some.
Like about 200 or so, not a lot. And and we had to split up with Calaise and Nameless helping us get across the vines to the island where the temple was on, and we had just gotten in there.
I was waiting for him to say, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, you guys had just gotten in the temple. The temple itself is shaped like a giant ziggurat. If you've seen that classic blocky square Aztec style temple, when you get inside, as you guys launched yourself over the wall with a couple of the undead in hot pursuit, there's a large open area. The temple, as far as you can see, based on what the size you saw outside, is completely hollow. Inside, there's a small raised pedestal that's got a gigantic brazier on it. There's a weirdly out of place lounge chair. which is to say it's big and fancy and has all kinds of fluff and gold bits on it.
Is it tacky?
It is very tacky.
So tacky.
And there is a podium with a hag bent over it, and that vortex is coming off of her. As you guys stand up and brush yourselves off, the hag turns around, and she is hideous. She's not under any illusion of any kind. She's wearing the tattered remains of a dress. It's hard to tell what color it is. It's just so covered in grime and gunk. Since apparently gunk is a word that upsets Ray.
You forgot goop
Yeah,
as
I
well.
was gonna
Yes,
say goop.
she well no, it's not covered in goop. She's dripping goop.
Ew.
She's very
Oozing.
yeah. She's
one might
oozing,
say.
if you will.
Ew. Don't join in and help.
She's pustulant. And
Goop.
Pustulant is one of those words that sounds like when you're trying to compliment just the most foul creature. And you're like, your appearance is very pustulant.
Moist.
I don't care about that.
It bothers
Pustulant.
so her face is very reminiscent of her sister's, in that
It's
it's
on the floor.
it's smashed open.
We're working on that.
No, it's she has a very long, crooked nose and kind of weirdly pointed ears. Her skin is this grayish green color.
Oh, so this is Meg Mucklebones.
That's a fair comparison, yeah. Her hair hangs down probably to her knees in these just dirty, filthy strands, and on her fingers, she has just 6-8 inch long nails. Clasped in one hand that she's holding up against her chest is a book. And the vortex is coming off of the book. And with her other hand, she just sees you, holds it out, and starts casting some kind of magic at you. So
I'd like to run up and try and knock the book out of her hand.
go ahead and give me an initiative check then.
Yeah, and Neville wants to try to flank her.
Actually, why don't all of you guys give me an initiative check?
Hot damn.
I suppose I should roll one for her as well. Alright, so let's see. We've got Philomena.
22.
Very good. Iocus.
26.
You're slacking there.
I know.
Neville.
25.
And Thea.
25.
Do you care which of you goes first?
Not really.
Yeah, no.
So, our order is that hag.
Philomena? Thought she only got a 22.
Hey.
Well,
Not a hag in this one.
When have you been a hag?
never. I'm just.
I could have been a hag.
We're just busting on Philomena.
Hilda could have been a hag.
No. Hilda was young and hot.
Yeah, Hilda was a hot babe.
And the listeners never got to meet Hilda because that was my campaign, and no, he did not record that.
Pay, join us at the $25 a month tier, and you can go back in time and listen to our non-recorded off-season game.
If we get to the $1,000 tier, we'll have to actually replay that whole campaign and record it.
But we'll have to play each other's characters.
Oh, that
yes,
would be fun.
Steve gets to play Pepe.
Nope, you can take one
Alright,
of my
I've-
cold dead hands.
I've already got enough bards.
That's
You
true.
kind of do, hun.
I'd like to see
One is
Steph
enough.
play Pepe.
So, just so we can keep things clear in our heads of general positions, if you guys want to hand me something to represent your characters.
Oh. The mini still has the hat and jacket.
You poor
So
baby.
Thea is blue, and Neville is sparkly.
I mean, they're both sparkly.
Well, the defining characteristic of that dice is more sparkle. Yours actually has a color to it.
Yeah. Has no numbers, quote unquote.
Yep. So, without saying a word, the hag just spins around and points at, probably Iocus. That's a good. You're big. That's generally how threats go.
Is she doing a ranged attack?
She is doing a close attack. So when she points at Iocus, she starts channeling this energy, and from the wall behind you, several of the vines try to lash out and hit you with poisonous barbs. Does a 14 hit your physical defense?
No.
She takes one large step back and then just brandishes her claws and waits for one of y'all to charge in. Which, knowing how things go, is going to be Iocus.
Hey, funny fact.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to charge you. Now, like I said before, my intent is to try and knock the book out of her hand.
Mm-hmm.
How would I go about doing that? Do you want an actual attack, or...
So, you're going to probably have to give me a strength check.
Okay.
And it's going to be at a severe penalty.
Seeing as how I'm rolling, I think I'll just hit her. Or try to.
Do the spear go, bird.
So, before you start doing anything,
Okay.
whenever you get close to her, you start feeling this pulling at your brain, and you are going to take 8 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
And while you are engaged with her, you will take 8 points of psychic, or you will take 2d6 points of psychic damage at the start of every one of your turns.
My curse die is not, in fact, a 19. It is 5.
Let's have a question. That magic induced sleep, it was, and I probably know the answer. Was that enough to clear out our curse reduction of hit points?
No.
Didn't think so.
No, you guys have not had a full night's sleep since
I didn't think so.
entering the jungle.
I just wanted to make sure.
Mhm.
Before we get our hit points knocked out from under us.
Yeah, so Iocus.
Alright. I am going to do the Sacred Willow Sutra. It's my Sacred Fist opener. And no escalation die. So... Dex plus level. Okay. Alright. Plus 1. Will a 23 hit her AC?
It will not.
Okay.
Whoa.
Then on a miss, I will spend 1 key point, which leaves me 2 left.
Yes.
To get the cycle bonus. And on a miss, she gets holy damage equal to my level. So 4 holy damage.
So, when you swing at her, what does your holy martial arts look like? It's been a while.
Yeah, no, it's his fist actually starts glowing with a radiant light, and it just comes around trying to hit her. And even though it whiffs by her face, the holy radiance does burn her as the punch goes by her face.
Yep, you swing and that light arcs to her. She's very fast. Her sister was the one that you were able to easily kill in the jungle, was significantly thinner and more brittle. She looks like she's got some meat on her. Neville, it is your turn.
All right. That lounge chair looks kind of suspicious to Neville. Is it giving off any kind of magical what's-its?
You'd have to spend your turn analyzing it to get a really good sense of what it's got going on.
This, you know what? This hag might kill us, so Neville's going to just wreck her chair. So he's gonna just go up to it and just start smashing it with his little gnome fists.
What, no fire?
Oh, there's fire. It's just we'll see. Like, first of all, infernal transformation can't roll lower than a 0 because there's no escalation die. But he's gonna run up to it, and he's going to actually just call this a wild whim. He's going to try to hit it actually with I'm going to use his close attack actually, I think, because that is a little more potent. Ooh. So that is a 19 on the die to smack the chair with the chaos magic. So that is a 29 versus, I gotta roll a d3 to see what kind. That is against its PD.
Okay.
And let's see. So, do I smash the chair with that energy?
How much damage and what type of energy?
So, since I'm rolling for random type, I can also add the die to its. Oops. Yeah, that is the wrong die type. So that is going to be acid damage, and that is going to be 5 points of 5 plus 14. So, or that's actually 18 acid damage to it.
Okay, so here's what happens. Neville goes to attack this chair, and whenever he arcs this acid energy into it, the chair lights up with this brilliant red and orange flame. He instantly transforms into his devil form, and while he is in devil form, he gains regeneration 5.
God damn. And
there is, all of you can see there is this thin tendril of energy arcing from the chair to Neville.
And awesome. So since I have rolled a natural 16 plus on my close attack for chaos magic, I get to make a more chaos magic attack against that same target, or a creature engaged with it has a free action. Is that chair still?
The chair is still there,
Is
but it is not engaged with the hag.
So I could just keep wailing on it.
I mean,
Destroy.
I'm not going to tell you how to live your life.
But no, I think that'll just be. So, Neville. No one's ever seen Neville naked when he transforms into a tiefling, but he goes full tiefling, like fur on his legs and everything.
You're a tiny Tasmanian devil
And
with horns.
and he's going to point at the hag and say, "You're next, baby girl."
So Thea, you see all of that. The hag looks unimpressed.
That is disconcerting. But Thea is going to use her range attack, Warlock's Curse, on the hag with Holy Fire. Because that is fun. Okay. Roll. That is a 23 against MD.
23 against MD is a hit. What did you roll?
11.
11. All right.
Does the thingy go up?
Yes.
Oh yeah, mine should go up too.
Can we find a 6?
Yes, just a reminder, if you make a successful attack, your curse die goes up by 1.
Oh, never mind. I forgot that I actually got a boon out of that hit earlier because it was a 19. So
Okay, and I'm also gonna add on Scream of Victory. So I get to buff you guys and debuff her.
So how much damage?
It's 14 damage.
Okay.
And okay, until the start of my next turn, each ally in battle adds double the escalation die to their attacks and damage. And enemies who could use it do not get to.
Alright.
Because fuck you, hag.
So right now there is no escalation die, but it
Yeah.
will be active until it comes back around to you next round.
Yeah. So everybody but Philomena is gonna get this. Sorry.
Okay.
I can always do it again later.
Alright, Philomena.
So, what else did you say was in the room besides the chair and the hag?
So there is a podium that previously had a book on it. There's the book in her arms, and there is a giant brazier, which is a pit full of oil that is burning.
It's a pan of fire.
Yes, it is. It is just a gigantic torch,
And our only light source currently.
and currently your only light source.
So you're telling me, in other words, don't mess with it.
Or do.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying the hag in the dark might be terrifying.
Just saying, I'll give you one action point if you if you do my dirty work for me.
I mean, there are vines that could, burst into flame.
So the podium.
Mm-hmm.
How big is it compared to me?
It's probably about 5 feet tall.
Okay. So I could lift it. I mean, not very high, but I could lift it. No?
Oh, I was waiting to see if the dogs continued
Oh.
barking.
Is it a stone podium or?
Yes, it is made out of... Well, no, it looks like it's made out of wood.
Okay.
It'd be difficult to pick up if it's like a solid wood podium, but you might be able to do it, or just knock it over or something.
My idea is, in order to not get too close to her, my idea was to pick it up to try to, or not put, even just push it towards her to maybe knock the book. Maybe not
She
even
has the book.
like this.
curled up under her arm.
It's not open and...
No.
Oh. I thought it was open and the tornado was coming out of it.
It is. Well, the tornado is coming out of it, but she's got a hold of it.
Okay. What is she currently doing?
She is currently snapping at Iocus' face and trying to gouge his eyeballs out with her claws.
Okay, so she is not doing a ranged attack. So, then my only option is to use my Spirit Blade and run in charging, trying to slice her.
Sure. So you run in and
Take damage.
take 10 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
I get knocked down.
But do you get up again?
Taking my Spirit Blade and
Okay.
slicing her. That would be 25 versus AC.
That is a hit.
Yay. So it's 18 negative energy damage.
Mm-hmm. So when your blade slices into her, there is a lot of resistance. It barely even cuts her skin. Is there anything else you would like to do?
No.
So we're at the beginning of the round. Does anybody have an escalation d6 that I can borrow for the escalation die? So the escalation die is now a 1, which means...
Treat it as 2 until she comes around.
Yep. So it's 2 for attacks and 2 for damage as well. Right?
Yes.
Good. And you said if she would be eligible to get the escalation die, she can?
Yep.
Right, so there's 2 of you right in front of her, and that is a great coincidence because she has, in fact, 2 attacks that she is going to make.
Cool.
We'll say the first one is against Iocus. That is a 24 versus AC?
Yep.
So, you're going to take some damage. Let's see.
Wow. It just keeps rolling.
31 points of damage.
Oh, shit.
As she slices into you. And do you have any particular resistances? Alright, so it is poison damage.
Okay.
And I was about to say against Suna, but it's against Philomena. That is a 25 versus AC.
Yeah.
So you take 21 points of damage. As she just drags her claw across Iocus just straight into you.
Maybe attack the chair like I did.
Or, range.
She is...
I don't have any ranged.
You do.
I don't. The only way I can use it is if she is making a ranged attack, which is why I keep asking.
Is it a special trigger?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So I can't.
And she is going to take a couple steps back from you guys. And looks like she's going to try and do something with the book. She holds it up in front of her with both hands, and it looks like she is trying to wrestle it so that it is pointed at you two. But Iocus, it is your turn.
Oh, wait a minute. Is she attempting to disengage from me?
She is immune to opportunity attacks.
Okay. I'm going to run around behind her and hit her again.
So you're going to take some damage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 8 points of damage, psychic.
I am now staggered.
Yeah. I'm past that.
But I am now behind her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll try and hit her again. So
Oh, nice.
that is a 28
Versus...
AC.
And what did you roll on that die?
That was a 17.
Okay.
And it's holy damage.
Alright, so your curse die goes up by 1.
Okay. Okay. So, this is strength. This is greeting fist. I'm gonna toss gore in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to re-roll 2 of the d6s. Oh, thank you. Let's see. Is that everything? Punch. Gore. Yes.
You mean is that everything as you roll 17 dice over there?
That's 12, 16,
Don't forget to add 2 to it, because that 2 is really going to matter.
I mean, it's something.
30.
I mean, historically you guys have had monsters hold on with less than 2 hit points for multiple rounds.
46, 48. Oh, wait. I
Because
get to
fuckboy
add
dice?
strength and wisdom. 48, so that's 51. 53 damage to her.
Mm-hmm.
Holy. And I can heal HP equal to me or a nearby ally. How bad are you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and do me. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
4. Excellent. 6 hit points, but hey, it's hit points. So.
Are you still staggered?
No. Yes. Yes, I am. Just.
Okay.
Staggered. And I'm not done yet. I'm going to take a quick action and utilize my breath weapon and try and unload on her there. I will trigger my curse die.
Okay.
So breath weapon does not go off.
Let me find that fancy. Sorry for the rustling pages.
That page is rustling. Rustle my jimmies.
All right. So, Iocus, from all around you, you hear the echoing laughter of this hag, and you hear this sharp buzzing sound as you are swarmed by biting insects.
Okay.
You have ongoing 4 damage.
Okay. 15 won't hit her PD, right?
15 will not hit her PD,
Okay.
correct. You have 4 ongoing damage.
Okay.
That damage increases by 1 per round until you spend a standard action to spend a recovery and gain no healing.
I can't save out of it?
Nope.
Okay.
Neville.
All right.
Iocus gets in the first good hit, which actually Iocus is there with her. Gets in the
Behind
first
her.
good hit, and it's called Theater of the Mind, Mike. It's all relative.
Behind her.
We're not playing 4th edition.
So,
And you start seeing all these bugs swarm Iocus as the hag rocks back from that hit.
Question about Thea's ability. When does it just say that we count the escalation die has twice what it is for
Attacks and damage.
for attacks and damage?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh,
Let me look at something real quick.
would a 17 hit her PD?
It would not.
Okay. Because I forgot about that.
Okay, I might be able to do something about the some of the damage you guys are taking next turn, but for this turn, Neville is going to, he's in his full infernal form. He is going to go ahead and let's go ahead and do the chaos magic this time at the hag.
Are you sure the chair is still open?
I got something out of the chair. I don't think it.
Oh, by the way, if your regeneration goes off at the beginning of the round.
Yeah, I'm already at full.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah. Neville is going to fire. My curse die is at a 9. That is another 19 on the die.
Nice.
And so that is going to be a total of 29
Versus...
oh, I got to roll for that. Versus the same thing as last time. PD.
That is a hit.
All right, and so that's going to do roll for the damage type. That's going to be more acid damage at actually, I'm going to use my Chaos Empowerment to make this force damage.
Okay.
By adjusting the roll by 1. And I'm going to add so that's going to be a total of looks like 18, and then it says that I get to add my random die to the damage if rolling for random type.
Correct.
Does that mean I roll it again or use the same roll?
Use the same roll.
Okay, so that's going to be oh yeah, I modified that up to a 6, so that's going to be 24 force damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then does it look like it deals a solid hit?
It does.
Cool. And then that, because that's another natural 16 plus, I trigger more chaos magic. So Neville gets to make another attack. It's 2 digits, that's all that matters. That is going to be a 21 versus, oh, I gotta roll for this one too. Versus PD again.
That is a hit.
All right, cool. And that is going to be just another 15 random type damage. That's going to be 19 psychic damage. And because that one succeeded on a hit, one more special trigger attack. Neville's just laying into her.
Go for it.
What's the lowest of her AC, PD, or MD?
PD and MD are tied.
Okay. So this is targeting the lowest of those. And there's 3 attacks involved. Okay. So curse die goes off once, but I crit on the third one, and the second one probably just misses.
All right, so let's deal with the curse die first.
Which is good because my curse die was at an 11.
Yep. So, strangely, you got the same result as Iocus, which is to say now those biting insects are swarming you, and you have ongoing 4 damage.
Okay. I'm going 4. But I also have regen 5.
Correct.
So I can buy myself a little bit of time.
But unlike your regen, the biting insect scale.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to do something about that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that
and
is...
What was your crit?
The second one in the middle, I'm pretty sure missed, but it wasn't below the curse die.
Okay.
That was actually, it might not have. That was a 28 versus MD or PD.
Oh no, that hits.
Wait, would it be a 28? Because I rolled an 8 on the die, 8 plus 10 plus 2, so it would have been a 20.
That still would have hit.
Oh, okay, so that one actually does hit. That does 10. Let's see. Let me look at this again. It does 10 random type damage. So there's 15 acid damage.
Okay.
No, 14. 14 psychic damage. I can't modify it up anymore. And then the crit is going to be... the crit is going to be 24 fire damage.
24 fire. All right. So I need to make some attack rolls real quick as a thing happens. So Philomena, does a 25 hit your PD?
Yes.
Iocus, does a 15 hit your PD?
No.
Neville, that is a crit. Does a 30 hit your PD?
Let me check my character sheet. It just says here, flip off Gary.
And Thea, does a 23 hit your PD?
Yeah.
Okay. So what does it look like when Neville burns this hag down?
He's just going crazy with the fire, but even in his like infernal rage, he realizes that blowing fire into air is probably a really bad idea. So he's going to aim for her feet. Mm-hmm. And I just imagine these attacks, he's just like throwing punches in the air and throwing this energy at her, like Avatar firebending style. And so with the fire one, he just full flamethrower to her feet, like, and is holding his fist out like that as the flames just completely consume and buffet her with little swirling, like, basically like little tiny fists of fire pounding at her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, each of you that got a hit, which I believe was Philomena and Neville.
Oh, I got critted.
I got hit.
Okay.
I think we all got hit.
Except for
Right,
him.
I was the only one who did not.
So, the two of you that just got a hit, as she burns up, the hag lets out this horrid, terrible scream. You two are temporarily deafened.
Like them two? Or
No.
No,
You and me.
You and
Oh,
Thea.
you and me,
Philomena
okay.
and Thea. Neville is permanently deafened.
Oh shit.
And the sort of gloom that has hung over you guys since entering the jungle fades away.
Fuck you, cursed eye!
Those of you who had started to gain icy appendages, very rapidly you begin to condensate and sweat and return to your normal body temperature. And that ice just melts off of you. As the book hits the ground, that vortex does not stop and just starts getting faster and faster. And fairly soon looks like it's going to start covering the whole room.
I'm gonna try and call out to Philomena.
You did.
Uh-huh.
He pointed to Steph and said, Philomena.
Exactly, yeah. No, I'm gonna call out to Thea.
Uh-huh.
And when she doesn't respond, I'm gonna snap in front of her face and say, "Come on! Got a book! You're the book person!"
She would have been noticed the book on the ground. She would go diving for that.
Yep, so Thea, you grab the book and you realize that it's more or less in the shape of a book.
Uh-huh.
So think, binding, covers, pages, but it looks like it's made out of solid metal. And when you touch it, it sprouts this space that those of you who are not deafened, which is just I guess at this point, you hear it scream at her, and it burns away part of your clothing, and you take 6 points of psychic damage, and you cannot pick that book up.
As I see that, I'm gonna run over to Philomena. I guess I'll get it right this time, and shake her and point her at the book. Say, and mimic screaming, like question mark, like, and try and get her to go over.
If only the listeners could see the faces and gestures that.
I'm gonna look at Iocus like he's nuts, and then
Because he is.
I'm gonna think he's talking about Thea screaming, so I'm gonna walk over towards Thea and put my hand on her shoulder.
Yeah, looking up at you.
I'm gonna mouth, "Are you okay?"
I'll go point at the damn book. The book.
Thea will help point at the book too. She might nod that she's okay, but can't close it.
I'm gonna pick up the book.
So when Philomena picks up the book, the outer shell of it is made of this metal, and there's this screaming face on it, and then it just flows off of a book up your arm into your armor. Your armor, as described, was kind of this skin-tight outfit. It starts to fill out more and more to the point where you are wearing a full suit of plate mail. And in your hands is a gigantic, perhaps textbook-sized book. It appears to have a bookmark in it.
I'm gonna open them to where the bookmark is.
And when you open the book, the vortex stops.
Am I more ghostly again?
Yeah, when you look down, you are your normal self.
And I can not be a body? Like I can vape?
If you go incorporeal, the book drops to the floor.
Yeah, don't do that.
But it worked?
Yes.
Are you doing that to test it?
Just to test it?
Yes,
and
the
then
book falls on the floor.
Okay,
Thea
I'm
dives underneath the book.
Catch.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm back and I'm catching the book.
Or you can take it from my cold dead
Yeah.
hands.
So Thea, you have this book. It's leather bound and looks very, very old. When you caught it, it flipped open to the bookmarked page, and there's this. It's probably about 3 inches wide, and maybe 6 or 7 inches long. It's a flat piece of rose quartz, that's acting as a bookmark, and it has a red and orange and gold tassel strung through the top of it.
Okay, that's pretty. What's on the page?
So on the pages, just the one that it's open to is, we'll say, a process by which you can directly turn a soul into fuel for some infernal machines.
Huh.
Infernal.
I'm gonna yell for Neville.
Neville's
I
can't.
know, I know Neville's
Yeah,
too.
he's looking around in kind of a daze. Has he become less infernal now, or is it still on?
It is still on. In fact, the chair is still glowing and is still linked to him.
Maybe you should check that out.
Iocus hears her screaming for Neville. I see Neville also not responding, and I'm gonna go wave in front of Neville's face and point at her, and then I'm gonna point at the chair and go, "What the fuck?"
Neville can't hear anything.
Yeah,
so
I
he's
know,
like,
but you see
he's
the
like,
the arms.
he sees the
thrown
arms
up.
flowing,
And
and
the
he's
expression on his face.
he's not really sure what Iocus is asking of him. He's still kind of in a daze, and he's going to walk over to the chair and put his hand on it. And I want to try to figure out. He's a magical item expert. What's the deal with this chair?
So I'll just tell you this. When you put your hand on it, you are compelled to sit in it. And the second you do, you regain all of your recoveries. All of your expended magical items are restored. Your hearing is restored. And actually a little what do you call them? What's the bottom part of her?
Footrest?
Footrest, yes. I have one, use it every day, and don't know what the hell it's called. A footrest pops out, and some kind of fizzly liquid appears in a glass on the armrest. And you are sitting in perhaps the most comfortable chair you have ever sat in.
Even if it is tacky.
Even if it is ungodly tacky.
Neville's going to take a drink of the liquid.
Oh, it burns all the way down.
And then he's going to kind of scoot off of the chair and come over to Thea and...
He's just showing him like, hey, look at this, look at this, look at this.
Oh. The hag's book. And he's going to start taking a look at it.
Yeah, you start flipping, and your hand brushes up against that bookmark, and it starts to glow.
You said it's a piece of little rose quartz?
Rose quartz.
Is it translucent at all?
Yes. It is, like, imagine a standard bookmark. It is almost that flat.
So I can see through it.
Correct.
Can I hold it up to the page and see anything different?
So when Neville grabs the bookmark and holds it up, it actually starts projecting onto the floor. So think of that classic, like, super fancy calligraphy signature. It just starts names. As you're looking through it, you can see names getting scribbled onto the floor. There's effectively two columns. There is some what you recognize as gnomish names, and then there is a column of very hard to pronounce words. And just the longer you look, the more they scroll, until you see your great-grandfather, grandfather, father, your name. And each of you has something in that second column. And then once it passes your name, it keeps scrolling further down and further down.
Write this down. And Neville's going...
He points to her ears.
Is
like,
Neville?
and
Is
shakes
Thea
her
still
head.
deafened?
I'm temporarily deafened, but I'm still
Yeah,
deaf.
she's
Okay.
still deaf.
So he's going to hand you a quill and have you write down and point to the names and say,
You might have to give me the thing to look through.
yeah. But as his name comes down, he's going to try to pronounce the the one that has his name.
Yes, and
I will scribe it for you.
as you do so, that chair stops being lit up, and you feel that connection terminate. You feel like yourself, and you are no longer in your devilish form.
Probably the smoothest one of these transformations has gone. It just completely...
Yeah, you didn't even notice it.
Soap bubble popped.
And Neville is just going to close his eyes and sit down and breathe a sigh of relief. And then just kind of slump over. He's exhausted.
Pat, pat.
Gonna check on him, make sure he's still alive.
He's still breathing.
Okay.
He reaches up and just like pats Iocus. Is like, you've helped me break a curse, not only on me, but on generations of my family yet to come.
It was fun traveling with you two.
And actually, for that matter, if Neville continues to look, his name disappears from that list, and all the names after his disappear from the list as well.
Iocus is gonna call out and say, Sabathiel?
Sabathiel appears behind Thea.
Thea's like, got her nose in that book, she's flipping through it.
Sabathiel, when he appears, Thea starts flipping through pages, and he appears behind her, and there's this slight gust of wind as his wings flap, and the pages are turning faster than Thea can flip them. And
Okay, I'm good. Hands off now.
and it's like and it just stops on what Thea recognizes as a ritual to transubstantiate a divine entity into a primal power.
Ooh. Thea's not gonna hug the book, look up at Sabathiel, look back at Iocus, and just have this huge grin on her face.
He'll give her 2 thumbs up. Hey, Sabby, can you fix her hearing?
You see it look at you and just roll its eye.
That's a very athletic thing for it to do whenever its whole body is an eye.
Kind of funny how Neville was permanently deafened, yet somehow got his hearing back before Thea did.
I mean, I haven't gotten mine back.
We know.
Oh.
Well, actually, we don't.
Well.
So,
Well, we the players know.
speaking of, what is Philomena doing?
Admiring myself and my body. And I keep walking through things and...
So the first time you walk through something
Uh-huh.
and return to corporeal form, you materialize,
Uh-huh.
your hearing is back.
I'm gonna pretend it's not.
And happily ever after.
So I'm the only one still deaf.
Yeah, after a few minutes, your hearing returns.
You're ringing a very
yeah.
bad pop.
You, for a while, like that's how you know it's returning, is because all you hear is this terrible ringing in your in your hearing.
Neville, actually everyone, while I'm glad that y'all are all set, last we saw, my wife and son were getting swarmed by undead.
Right, we should go.
Let's go see if they need some help.
But how long do you think that ritual will take?
Can I hear now?
Yeah, everything is very muffled still.
Okay, say that one more time.
Sabathiel turned a page to a book. How long do you think that will take, whatever that is?
A couple of days.
It's not a now thing.
All right, then let's grab the book and get going.
Shove it in the bag. Let's go. Whew.
Yeah. So the only thing is it has to take place at a place of immense arcane power.
I'm sure we can find one.
You're in one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
well,
we can come back.
You know, when his wife and child are not dead.
Or maybe they are. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah. So you climb back out,
I'm just gonna walk through the wall.
So Philomena just walks through the side of the temple.
And then falls.
There are corpses everywhere. It looks like some of them were about to climb into the temple when they just collapsed.
Dead
Do they have any
bodies
like stuff on them? Pockets?
If,
You're
if,
gonna loot the bodies?
if you want to spend the time to...
Just a couple. Not all. I'm just gonna check a couple.
While you're waiting for us to come out?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll say you reach into one pocket and you come out with...
Goop. Goop. Say goop.
We'll say what may have once been some kind of edible something,
Oh no.
but is just covered in filth. If you go up to one of the cyclopses, they have no pockets.
Neville's gonna make his way to the vine to cross over and check on Nameless and Calaise.
So,
Iocus. Leading the way.
kind of waiting for you on the other side of one of the vines is Calaise. She is covered from head to hoof to tail in gore and gunk and ooze
One could
And
even
goop.
say. Yes!
And ichor.
and ichor.
I'm gonna walk up to Iocus and wipe my hand on him.
I guess turnabout's fair play.
She's quite a ways away, and she kind of waves both hands over her head. Her staff is broken, and she's just got like one piece of it. And she says, "Have you seen Nameless?"
No! Have you?
And she comes running, but stops at the vines, holding up the temple. And she says, "I haven't seen him." And from behind you, you hear a voice go, "Oh, he's all right.
Hey, random.
I think he'll be just fine. Hey, Iocus, how are you?"
I'm good. I was expecting you.
"Oh, well, I have to introduce a slight bit of predictability, because if everything you do is chaotic, you can expect chaos, but if occasionally you are punctual and predictable, that in and of itself is chaotic. So how are you?" And she just walks up to you. She's got her spear as her walking stick, shoulders it. "My, you've been busy. Hello there."
Neville just looks at her like, does he remember?
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
So while she's in your sight, all of your previous conversations come back.
She's literally out of sight, out of mind.
Indeed.
it's funny. Even though I didn't remember, I could still feel it.
You could feel what? And she kind of looks you up and down. Not to be rude, but have you embraced naturism?
Well, it was growing on me, and he'll gesture to his to where the patches of bark skin were. And it's
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. They really were quite nice.
But, I think I owe you quite a lot.
For what? I haven't done anything at all.
Just call it inspiration.
Oh, well, that's kind of you. You're welcome.
One thing about not working with knowing random is she hasn't helped at all. Ever. Before.
No, that's not true at all. I distinctly recall helping you out of a sticky situation with an erupting volcano.
Oh, yes, there was one time she was allowed to help. But other than that, she's never helped. We don't even barely know her. Is that the party line?
She kind of looks up at the skies. Yes. Aside from that
One time.
one time,
Yes.
I haven't helped you at all.
Ever in our lives.
So, did everybody get what they needed?
Yep.
Question.
Sure.
You said Nameless was okay.
He's doing something very stupid.
Oh, cool.
What kind of stupid?
It probably involves a tiger and getting a name.
So you're kind of stupid.
Yeah.
You know, actually, that was one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. I think he's earned a name, and you know, I was thinking Storm Tamer. What do you think? Has a nice ring to it.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Either that or Hag's Bane. But I like yours better.
I think you would have to explain to the centaurs what exactly a hag is, and that that might take a while.
Yeah, and he did stop the storms. So.
I think that's the angle you might want to go with.
I would clearly never do anything to help him.
You know, that's not true. I think a chieftain is only as strong as his clan. And if he doesn't have strong individuals to help him, you know, he's not much of a chieftain.
True. Good thing we're all part of his clan, right?
Yeah, I think that's fair. So I just wanted to check in on you. I'm very glad, Iocus, that you were able to resolve some of your familial issues. Although that woman over there, and she points at Calaise, who just has the biggest eyes and is staring at random, she probably wants a few more words with you.
Probably. And just before that conversation, I have the feeling, since you just ironically happened to be in the neighborhood with impeccable timing, that your patron, shall we say, has something further planned for me that I will have to be leaving again, right?
No, actually, and she reaches down and off of one of her bags pulls up a pocket sundial and like flips the lid and the little spike pops up and she goes, you might have what we in the business call a little bit of downtime. At the moment. Things are not progressing as smoothly around the world as they need to be.
Yes.
So, I'm not telling you how to live your life, but I think it would be best for you and best for Nameless if maybe you hung around for a bit.
Okay.
And she clicks it closed.
Now, I'm happy to hear that, but I have to ask, when the opportunity presents itself, I still have my nieces to rescue or help. They aren't really the rescuing type, but I can count on you to let me know what's going on the broader world, right?
Well, one of them has her hands full.
With Kiyoshi, I seem to.
No. Yeah, we don't know about that.
I know.
And the other is planning to assassinate the Emperor, I think. So, I'm sure, one way or another, you'll be hearing about them soon. Ish.
All right. And,
I mean, so I've heard.
Gosh, it would be a terrible thing if something happened to the Emperor of the Sun Chaser Sovereignty, wouldn't it?
Technically, yes. It would be devastating. In more ways than one. Or so I've heard.
yeah.
I would never assist anybody who is directly assaulting one of the foundations of the world. That would be silly and irresponsible.
Didn't your little fox friend want something to happen to them?
You know, that's a topic that we maybe had better not get into. She is... And she kind of thinks about it for a second. She is captaining her own path at the moment, and that may and or may not be a good thing. Or so I've heard.
Okay, what about the pretty boy? Don't you want to find him too?
Well, of course I do. They're all friends.
I'm right here.
Okay.
puts his hands, and he feels more confident than ever. He's just,
Completely naked.
not completely. He's got his loincloth.
Almost naked.
He knows people don't want to see the junk.
Well, why
Thank God.
haven't you asked about him?
I was going through it. I only asked about two
are
people
you in
so far.
love with him? Is that why you were asking about him last?
Oh, you
No,
might.
but he's still
maybe
family.
Calaise shouldn't.
Well,
hear this
maybe
conversation.
you could make it work with maybe make a, there's other systems besides just monogamy. I mean,
She likes three boys.
I'm
No, they're all family. I just have to ask about those closest to me, and then my later adopted family. And then more adopted family.
Okay, continue random.
You're actually adopting him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was I continuing with?
He wanted to know about the pretty elf, I think.
Which one?
The pretty boy that he was with.
There were multiple pretty elves in our friend group.
You already covered his nieces.
He is going through some changes.
Oh, is he not going to be pretty anymore?
Listen, hair is growing in strange places, and he's getting weird feelings. That's what happens. To
Are those weird feelings about ham?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I haven't spoken to him, and she looks up in a while,
Okay.
and don't plan on speaking to him for some time. She looks around, kind of shifty-eyed.
Uh-huh.
So what are we supposed to do if he's got some downtime?
It dawns on me that there is still a whole fight ahead of Nameless. And he could probably use some capable advisors.
Got
Also,
anywhere else to be?
No. Now that he doesn't want you murdered.
I have this ritual that's going to take a couple days. And
Yeah.
it needs to be, here.
I would get on that if I were you.
Do we need to go back right away?
Whenever I go talk with Calaise, y'all can go start the ritual. We'll join shortly.
Okay. No, wait. I want to see you walk up to her and see if she kills you.
Well, there was the
Or-
reason I was sending you away to the arcane ritual.
Or if there's fighting. Before she
As this
gets
is
you
going on,
actually.
Neville's going to slip away to Calaise, and just kind of so you are a strong and capable woman.
That's the rumor, yes.
You think a little?
Before you ask whatever you're going to ask, who is she?
Her name is Random, and from
The other woman.
and I'm going to ask you something. You think a girl like that would go for a naked, shrimpy little guy like me?
She says, well, let's put it this way. I would consider myself fairly out of Iocus's league. And yet somehow he not only managed to bed me, but wed me. So anything's possible.
And that's a good point. And Neville will touch where his horns used to be and be like, that's a good point.
She says, did you see Nameless?
Do I see any tracks or anything that indicate where he might have gone?
No.
No, I haven't. But we should probably find him soon.
That's worrisome.
She says that he's doing something stupid.
That tracks.
Does it narrow it down?
Doesn't narrow it down from his normal behavior.
You think there's any dire tigers around here?
I don't know. This is the first time I've ever been to the jungle.
Right?
On the island. Random says, well, this is probably going to be the last time we see each other for a while. So, anything I can do to help while I'm still around? I mean, I'll still be around,
Yes.
but not around like this.
Yes, two things. One, thank you. Thank you for doing nothing and bringing these people
No, it's just
in a direction.
crazy happenstance that
Clearly
such a
had
motley
no outside.
crew of individuals found themselves thrust together on an adventure that would simultaneously resolve all of their issues.
And the second request is very near and dear to my heart.
Sorry.
You don't happen to have a jacket.
She looks down at her vest and says, I don't really get cold, so no, but I'm sure something can be arranged. And she kind of pats you on the cheeks. Since I'm moving forward, I'm allowed to help you.
Yes. Yes.
We'll see what we can
Great sacrifices made.
do. She turns to Thea and goes, I know this is a huge ask, but can I see that book that I gave you?
Why?
I just need to do something to it real quick.
Am I getting it back?
That depends.
On what?
I'll make Neville blush if you hand me that book. Tell me you don't want to see him turn red from head to toe.
He's still talking to Calaise.
You've already seen that. He got furry too. And horny.
No, I mean in the slightly fun sort of way.
You gonna flash him?
Something like that.
You gonna give it back?
Sure.
Thea very slowly gives her the book, and Random's gonna have to kind of tug it from her hands.
Yeah, Random, is a lot stronger than she looks, and she just, I imagine at one point, goes to pick the book up, and Thea is still attached to it.
Yeah.
And she just lifts it up and kind of shakes it a little bit until Thea falls off.
Yeah.
And she holds out her hand, and she says, I want you to take this as the most sincere compliment. I needed someone to keep them together during this whole thing. And she shakes the book a little bit and then holds out her hand, and it starts to glow. And eventually it becomes too blinding to look at. And she closes her hand around it, and she starts to go down on all fours, and as she does, her skin turns to scales. She sprouts these gigantic bronze and gold wings from her back, and Thea finds herself face to face with about a 50-foot-long dragon.
I think Neville notices that.
Yeah,
You're pretty.
Wow, my loincloth got tight. Oh my.
Random doesn't move her mouth when she speaks, but when she breathes, just the heat waves coming off of her mouth are enough to kind of force you back a little bit. And she says, thank you. You are also very pretty. And when she rears up, you can see there is a very particular scale missing from her chest. And she just takes that book and slots it into place.
God damn it.
And it finishes glowing and turns into a scale. And she looks back over at Neville and gives him a wink.
He turns. So starts at his feet. Red just. So at first it's a faint shade of red, goes all the way up to the top of his head. Then a deeper shade of red. And then finally about as red as he was as a tiefling.
And she winks at Thea again and says, I'm really, really sorry about the book and other things.
No, you're not.
I promise you I am. I hold a great reverence for knowledge. You should see my personal library.
Can I? Someday?
Someday. I imagine you will be able to find your way there. But in the meantime, I have to be going. She looks over her shoulder, gives a nod to Iocus and says, You'll, I'm sure, know when the time is right. And then she flies up into the air, flies up over the trees and out of sight. And as soon as she is, everyone except Iocus forgets. Random. Even Thea.
Is somebody still red with a boner?
Yeah.
Never said anything about the bone.
Neville,
You guys think everything's sexual. Neville is just.
Neville
It's like a pure romantic thing.
Neville is standing there. His skin is particularly red. He feels kind of embarrassed.
What are you all looking at? I need to get some clothes. Where's Nameless?
Do we still have the rituals that she needed to?
Yes.
Yes.
She took my possessed book.
Oh, okay. All right, just double checking.
Yes, she took the Dragon Scale book.
All right, just making sure which book was which.
From behind Neville and Calaise, you hear some rustling in the forest, in the jungle, and out of a tree steps a creature that's probably 15, 16 foot long. It stands about 8 foot tall at the shoulders, and it is a large feline covered in spikes, just bony protrusions all over its head and shoulders. Then another one steps out, and another one, and another one, and another one.
And another one, then another one.
Yeah. And then some cubs step out behind it. They have the same build, but they're probably the size of a pony instead of being the size of a horse.
Or gigantic not hooves, feet.
And
And
they
beans.
they do not quite have the same level of bony protrusions. And when they see you and see Calaise, they, hunch down and start growling and going into attack position. And then from behind the tree comes Nameless. And when they see him, all of them just stretch out and lay down at his hooves. And he looks at Calaise, looks at Neville, says, Fine. I thought it was time we tried things a little differently.
Neville gets a big grin on his face. And looks at Iocus and looks at Calaise and I think I like where this is heading.
And then you hear from across the way, like, are those kittens?
And that's where we'll leave off, is with Nameless giving Iocus a big wave, and the three of you on the island seeing these gigantic dire tigers just kneeling at his feet.
Iocus calls out, Hell, Storm Tamer!
And that's where we'll leave off. So you guys didn't die.
Nope. Thanks, Neville. You towards the hag.
Nerd rage. Never pick on the nerd.
So I think what we're going to do now is we'll finish up this episode, And then for the patrons, I want to do a quick little wrap up where these guys can ask some questions about the first of the season 3 mini campaigns. Since we are going to be doing one for each of the characters. And yeah, so before we get into that, you guys got anything? No?
Nope.
I want to repeat a point raised earlier in this campaign, though. Fuck Gary. That was a nice jacket.
It was an alright jacket. It just had sentimental value.
It's been through some shit.
It has been. It's probably a holy jacket at this point.
With literal holes.
Yeah. I mean, it did get blown off a fucking mountain.
Really, what it puts me in mind of is that that scene in Shanghai Noon where he runs through the shootout, and then it's like, see, they didn't even hit me. And when he holds up his arm, there's just 1,000 bullet holes in his jacket.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I've got anything else. Just Neville says support naturism, except when you get embarrassed.
That's got to be a piece of art there. It's
just let it all.
Neville and Wolf Swift hanging out. Support naturism. All right. Well, if that's the case, then go to the places, do the things.
Sponsor an F-bomb.
Sponsor an F-bomb.
Books are good for you. Read the banned ones.
Yeah, that's fair. Who knows? You might end up with your very own angel of something. So, yeah, thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next time.